couple questions from our chat. So A, tabs or spaces, and B, Arch versus Debian Linux.
So tabs and space is a great one because the right answer, which is tabs, is not what gets used in practice. And I had a call with Google this morning where they contributed Next.js. And it's so funny that I get this question because like I used that metaphor today to explain to them, well, look, we all know that theoretically the right solution for this problem is this, but I know that that's not what people are going to want or do. So let's find the ways to eventually try to get to that ideal place, but be realistic about what is the momentum. So going back to the previous question of the community, being super in touch with that like momentum of that community is really what enables amazing engineering as well, because notice that there's this gap between theory and practice. In a lot of cases, you succeed by tuning in to what the, in this case, developer, customer, whatever, actually want to do. So I'm going to say, like, I use spaces begrudgingly in a world that, should be using tabs.
Wow, that is like the best answer to that question I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever heard anyone like give a philosophy behind it. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Arch Linux versus Debian Linux.
Say it again.
Arch Linux versus Debian Linux.
Oh, Debian all the way. Like Debian was like the thing that, like I was like before Arch was the distribution that all the cool kids were doing. That was more like, I'm gonna make everything custom. Debian was there, and for me it was huge. Like Red Hat had a novel installer because they were in this direction of like desktop Linux that was all graphics. They would boot into X11 for their installer, and Debian was like this beautiful, like in curses, just like terminal graphics, and that really made me fall in love with the terminal. So Debian all the way. APT is still like pretty much the most successful package manager that I know of in terms of security, practicality, just pretty all around awesome. But I truly respect the Arch philosophy. Gen 2 was big when Debian was also taking off because they had this also system of like compiling from scratch and optimizing for your architecture and so on. So, if I went back in time to when I was a teenager, I would be the Arch Linux teenager today, actually, realistically. But, Debian all the way in my heart.